that at the moment of this recording, that petition is at 3 million signatures. And we've been told that 50 million people, 53 million people live in the UK. What the fuck are the other 50 million people doing? Why are they not freaking out? Why after COVID and all the chaos and that, even in the deepest, darkest part of your soul, know that no matter how hard you went COVID crazy, that they lied to you.
Yep.
And yet you still aren't upset enough to go, nope, this is a road, this is a bridge too far to cross. I can't get behind this.
Trying to live their lives, trying to make a living, raise your kids. It's kind of hard to, I imagine there are a lot of people just don't have the bandwidth for, they're just struggling with the essentials of life. Do you know what I mean? And they want you that way. They want you in the day to day,
100%. But those,
it's a luxury to be able to think about those things. It's a luxury to be able to think about those things.
The big problem is this, is how many of these people are not having kids. And when you don't have kids, you don't give a shit about the future. Everything is right now. So you don't care. So, and then on top of that, you're career oriented, which makes you hugely conformative.
Yep.
Right? And you're just you want to conform so that you're the uppers, the higher ups at your business know that you're a team player and you play ball. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking nuts.
Yep.
Take a look at China. I mean, what's going on in China is, again, how do we know what's real, what's not real, right? One second you got the Chinese saying they're living the best life, and the next second you see them in lines in hurricanes having to get social credit score vaccines or else they can't go, live a simple life. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. I've been talking about the social credit system for a long time. I mean, if you look at Klaus Schwab, he even says China's what they're modeling it after. He didn't say that they're specifically trying to do a social credit system, but if you look at everything that they're setting up, it is definitely that, just more discreet. But like I said, I've been studying the social credit system for a long time. I've talked to people from China. I know it's anecdotal, but they told me it's spot on. I've seen I wish it was wrong. I wish that, everything I was talking about wasn't happening, but we see the proof in front of us. Even if we ignore everything in China, look at digital IDs, look at how they're cracking down on it. First couple of days it comes out, Keir Starmer says you can't work in the UK. I mean, that is, how these things go. It's one small step at a time, and they're definitely not taking small steps. They're going quick with this. So I think within, a short period of time, it's going to become something very ugly.
Yeah, I mean, it's our worst nightmares. I mean, it is our worst nightmares. And there's so many people on the left. It's so crazy to me how much the left tries to rage against machine and also completely deep throats conformity. Like if you have a vaccine, no questions asked, they rush to get it, right? Political correctness, which I think is a giant hindrance to having a proper society. It's like I'm trying to work on this bit right now about if we were really honest about trans, like really honest, it really comes down to are you passable or not, right? If you look like a hot chick, nobody's complaining. Blair White walks in, no one's like, what the hell? If you look like a haunted scarecrow, get the fuck out of the women's bathroom. Like, it's just the way it is.
Dude, every time trans gets brought up or whatever, I'm like, give me a second. And then I go to Blair and I send it to my home. I'm like, go to your Instagram. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, right?
Like, yeah,
and then
is.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, and then, they completely forget about it.
Right. So political correctness is a giant problem. But these people who, crying about women's rights, crying about civil rights, crying about all these things, which are the results of government decisions and actions, are the same people that want the government to censor them harder, Daddy. Isn't it crazy? Like in some sense, they rebel, and then everything else they just bend over and take it. It's so crazy to me. So if you go to the progressives in the UK and you go, hey, what do you think about, digital IDs? I guarantee you most of them are for it.
Well, I think most people here aren't for it, but they don't even know what it's for. Oh, it's a new ID. The new real IDs. I don't think they understand what the long term is for the government. They're just like, oh, I got to get this new ID.
Well, they got the right here to want voter ID because, of the voter fraud thing. That's how they got people to consent to that. The whole right wing, which should be against, that kind of any kind of ID like that, is now in favor.
Yeah, and a lot of right states are really pushing hard for it because they want to protect children from porn.
Yes, exactly.
But how is that going to protect them from porn?
Well, because if in Texas you can't
identify yourself if you want to use the internet, basically.
Yeah, so if you want to go on Pornhub in Texas, you have to basically sign up through the government to watch.
Oh, so they're definitely going to know what I'm watching now. They're like, oh, thank you for signing on, Xavier. I know, but now they definitely know. Like, oh, thank you for signing on, Xavier. This is what you like to watch every day. And then how long you're there for too? God.
6 hours.
Pornhub already does that. Gives you badges and medals.
Dick like bubblegum badge. There you go.
Yeah. It's like crazy, dude. And then you get like, when I was young, and I deal with this in my life when it comes to like pornography. Like when I was young, when I was a really young kid, you would have to either find your dad's Playboy, or there would be just losers who threw it out in the trash, and there'd be porn on the side of the road, and you'd be like, damn. But you would have to seek it out. Now these kids, it's just at the fingertips, and they're not even trying to hide it. There should not be. Listen, free speech and free porn are two totally different things. By the way, we like to conflate them. Okay, free speech is very specific, and you have to drop it on these people all the time. Free speech is the government curtailing your speech, arresting you for things you say. That is a violation of free speech. Okay, people not liking your joke is not a violation of your freedom of speech. Okay, you're mistaking freedom of expression, which doesn't exist. You can say whatever you want. People can like it or they don't like it. Right? That's it. But man, like the amount of pornography, like I don't think there should be free porn on the internet.
Do you think porn could ever be kind of like how wine or liquor is in Europe, where if the kids grow up with it, they're so just like, well, whatever. You kind of, in a weird kind of way, you get what it would be like a long shot, but these kids there's just so much of it. They're just like, whatever, I guess. I'm not trying to watch this. I don't know if that could even be a thing because, that's what they say here.
All I know is when I'm in recovery meetings, everyone tells me, so I started drinking when I was 12.
Yeah, but in Europe, they claim that alcohol isn't a problem because it's very nonchalant, very open, very like. Oh,
you're seeing that with weed now among kids here.
Yeah, they don't care no more.
Care about it. Yeah,
they don't care no more. Like a lot of the kids that you know me, I smoke weed. A lot of the younger
that's
kids.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think like when I meet like 18, 19-year-olds, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna be the cool guy. I'm gonna be like, oh, I got the good weed and I got a lot of it. They don't care. They don't even. I'm just like, for real, really?
Well, could that be because they're popping pills?
That, or maybe they're just no taboo, no forbidden fruit.
There's something
not rebelling, but I think alcohol is a lot different because alcohol is addictive. So.
Let's get into what you want to talk about. I don't want to get too far away from what you want to talk about. Sorry.
No problem. The one thing I'll say though, I agree. I mean, I think everyone is probably against kids watching porn. That's awful. The problem with it is they use it as the argument, and we've already seen a lot of these states step back from having it be just on porn websites, and they go any searches online. That happened in Australia. So if you want to use the internet for anything, it's also happening on social media, and just it's the greater good argument of how they're gonna slowly let it turn into this huge thing of, okay, we're gonna use it as a backdoor, because I really don't think a lot of these politicians care. If you look just under the Biden administration, they were basically putting porn in libraries. They were doing LGBTQ training and all of this ridiculous stuff. So I think some of the politicians have good intentions and they don't understand the full picture of it. And I think a lot of them are just corrupt and they don't care about the kids at all.
Yeah, well, they're all scumbags and they're all satanic pedophiles.
Yep.
So I'm totally with it. I guess it's like how it's delivered, dude.
Yep.
Right? I mean, like
Agreed.
nudity and stuff like that isn't that bad, but a dude dressed like a fucking street hooker reading to kids is, again, we've said here before, it is advanced algebra. It is not ABCs 1, 2, 3s. And
Yep.
and I'll tell you, my daughter discovered this game that's meant for 15-year-olds and she just started playing it. She didn't play with her dolls anymore. She just doesn't play with her dolls anymore. Her daughter plays with the dolls and the stuffed animals all the time. She doesn't.
Happened to my nephew. My parents had to take the iPad and the phone away
Oh,
from
yeah.
him 'cause
I get in huge fights with my kids.
and now all he does is draw. Like that's all he does now is draw. They took the phone away from him. He just draws like for hours. He's upset. He's
Yeah,
learning
I
a
think
skill.
I'm going to take, but that's a whole different personal thing. But
Yeah, it's hard.
So what do you think's happening to the youth through social media?
I think they're being very radicalized. Kind of like what I was talking about. It's all about this relatable content. That's why they're creating For You pages. Not just why, but the detailed profiles allows them to do this individual manipulation where they take them through detailed rabbit holes. And whether it's AI generated or not, the feed is tailored for them. And my father has a good example of it. So he kind of talks about it as like Google Maps for your state of mind. So for example, TikTok is a Chinese company and I'm a user of TikTok. And so maybe President Xi goes over to, I think it's ByteDance that owns TikTok. And he says, I want to spread depravity throughout the West. And so that's the end goal of AI. And it can use me as an example. It sees that I'm at this current state of mind. It sees my interests. And then it takes me down this custom rabbit hole towards depravity. And I think it's very prevalent. I mean, you look at the drug use, the crime, the gun culture, everything. It's just really explode. Like if you look at everything on a timeline and compare it to social media and smartphones, the correlation is there. It's so clear as day.
No, I mean, like going viral is a plague on society. Again, what is real? What's not real? Most of that stuff's not real,
Yep.
right? A lot of it's sketches, a lot of it, but it's not a naturally occurring thing. They're doing stuff to get people to share it. And look how wild this is. And with women, it's sexual. And with men, it's violence or stupid.
I don't even think the viral moment's real. I think TikTok makes you go viral, so you become addicted to it. I've said it before that Instagram lets these kids go viral every so often, so they're addicted to going viral. Happened
Remember when
once. I can
TikTok
do it
showed
again.
up and they're like, dude, I have 1 million subscribers. And like, you couldn't sell 2 tickets anywhere.
Yeah.
It's you're and all the bot farms they have just liking and sharing. Yeah, it's again, you're introducing the worst of the worst, the lowest vibrational stuff to impressionable children for the purpose of making them stupid and violent and depraved.
There's some really powerful articles too. There's one called Facebook did an experiment on 689,003 of its users. And basically it was talking about how they would grab these users and they would show like one group really happy photos, like, you know, cute babies, kittens, whatever. And then the other group, they showed photos of like dead dogs, gore, disgusting stuff. And they realized that if you get an emotional reaction out of them, especially negative, it makes them engage more and it makes them continue to start using it. And so they say it was a test that they did in 2012, but really that gives a clear idea of how they use the framework behind the scenes. It wasn't just a test. They intentionally tried to keep people aggravated and buying into this. That way they can, just keep people addicted.
Yeah, Instagram's doing that to me right now with the jiggly tits bad comedy. Because they know it pisses me off. Oh my God, it's so crazy. I'm like, dude, you're not a celebrity because you have fat yams. Like, and that's another thing. We're creating these kind of empty calorie celebrities that really don't do anything. And it's such bad art. It's so lowbrow, stupid art. And it's like, it's really hard to fucking watch. You know, and
Yep.
but then you go to China and it's like, well, if the Chinese are so so smart and everything, why do they got to steal everything from us? Well, it's really simple. They've completely and utterly eradicated creativity over there. They've created a Borg. That's it. It's a Borg. Why is everything we see China doing, why is there advancements in anything a ripoff of what we're doing?
Yeah, there's a good 60 Minutes episode about TikTok actually, and it was talking about the TikTok that is shown in China, and it's all content that rewards athleticism, like science and education. It really promotes like the productive and positive aspects of life. And then they compared the U.S. to opium, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying, where they can really direct everyone in mass on an individual level. So, for lack of a better word, they have a very successful brainwashing, device, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, TikTok. Any of these applications have a detailed profile on everyone, and it's like they have a psychologist just feeding you information constantly.
Yeah, it's really crazy. You can't attack America, so you got to subvert it.
Yep.
And you just see it happening right now, particularly with rich children who are lost and have no purpose. So they just get radicalized. I mean, the best example of this is Obama phones. They sent Obama phones. They gave Obama phones to lower class, people financially struggling. Hey, here's a free phone. You don't have to pay for it. Well, if something's free, you're the product. Yeah. And they just studied their data, found out what pissed them off, and they just cranked that shit up. And now you have, the problem is like once they run a play, it's hard for them to run it again. Like, how many times have you seen videos now forcing your feed of a white cop shooting black people and nobody reacts to it anymore? And when they do react, it's all paid players through these NGOs, which is, again, manipulating reality. Nothing's real.
I mean, we talked about it, how we think those videos are like recorded a couple days, not days before, but they have them in the chamber just ready for
100%. Like this Charlie Kirk thing. Where was he buried? Where's the funeral?
Yeah. No, and to set up, I mean, you set up shows and events. How do you set that up in a couple days?
Well, the truth is, they got that date back in May.
Really?
Turning Point had that date at the state, Johnny.
No, I saw that. I saw Turning Point deny that they said that they didn't. They got lucky because the Cardinals are out of town or something. Is what Turning Point. Now, obviously, they're going to deny that if they did do it. So I just can't believe them letting that little detail slip. But I saw the same report you're talking about, and then I saw Turning Point had a response to it that was like, no, they're denying it. But I did see what you saw, that someone said that they did a FOIA and found that out. But I don't know what.
And that's another thing. We've gotten rid of shaming lying. Everybody could just lie now. Everybody can just be full. Yeah, it's really sad, dude. Like the amount of trans kids everywhere, it's just unbelievable, dude. It's just like, it's not real. And then you have, because progressive white women have decided that trans are their spirit animal. Right? I mean, that's really what they've decided. They just somehow look at these like there's some kind of shaman monks. And they just like to have a trans kid is like seen as, a weird kind of social credit.
It's a shapeshifter.
Right? It's like, oh my God, you are so lucky. And you're like, to the point that it like just think about how powerful progressivism is. That can override your motherly instincts to protect your child at all costs.
Oh, I'm not gonna say who, but I heard some girl say, "Oh, I hope my kid's gay." I'm like, so you want your kid to go through all that trouble and the high school bullying just so you can say I have a gay kid? You know how fucked up that is?
That is, dude, I don't care if my kid's gay. My kids grow up and be gay.
If they are, they are.
But
her
the
wanting
wish
it.
on
yeah,
that?
her wanting, her saying, I wish my kid's gay is what she said, because she loves the gays, she has gay friends, and she loves, I get it. They're cool people. But for her to say that's what I want for my kid, you should want your kid to be normal, how the normal. I mean, not saying that that's not. You know what I mean.
No, I totally get it. You have any thoughts on this, Eric?
Well, I guess on that specific one,
no, you don't have to discuss trans, but like, what is happening to just the any other thoughts on the youth and what's going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you look at the timeline, this trans stuff wasn't a thing, and I don't think they would have been able to push this agenda so hard if they weren't able to go down these deep personal rabbit holes. But the Charlie Kirk is another great example because, you know, if someone was assassinated, or, you know, in public, everyone assumes he's assassinated. I know there's a lot of different views on it. But I look at all my peers, people I personally know think it's funny that someone died for free speech. It's crazy. I mean, people have been really radicalized. And I think that is another example of how the internet has just really been successful as a tool to shape people in that way.
War is a television show here.
Yep.
War is a TV show.
Yeah,
violence is a TV show.
Remember how we heard that one of the big turning points to get public sentiment against Vietnam was these images coming back from Vietnam of Americans dying, and now we're so I mean, you couldn't give a shit less about dead people on TV now. I mean, it moves the needle absolutely nothing. All this shit that we're flooded with on Twitter. And then at that moment, it was so affecting. I mean, you talk to anybody of that generation, they were like, "Oh, this is just."
So I was
nightmarish.
Thinking to myself last night, why are there people who have been accused of pedophilia allowed to rebrand themselves? We see them, Anthony Weiner. We see Hunter Biden. You know, we just keep, Charlie Sheen showing up on podcasts. Why are we okay with that? And I've come to the conclusion is because children can't protest. Kids can't boycott. Now, if you do these things to a adult white woman, right? And there's even been this discussion that like there's no public outrage when it happens to a black woman. But when it happens to a white woman, there is a giant social movement. And it's because women control the purse strings. They're 70% of the buying power. And they eternalize everything. So all you have to say is like, look at Amber Heard. He was physically abusive to me and blah, blah, blah. And everyone destroyed Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has very darkness in him. I'm not saying he's a good guy at all. But Johnny Depp, or even my friend Brian Callen, they annihilated him. And if you actually studied it, it made no sense. But it didn't matter because once women heard that, they internalized it to the time a guy was mean to them. And they organized. Kids can't do that. Kids cannot organize. Kids cannot boycott. They can't shut down Nickelodeon because there's extreme pedophilia everywhere. You know, I mean, it's absolutely insanity to me. If you grab a chick's ass on set, you're publicly executed.
No, I mean, you're completely right, because something should have happened to Nickelodeon. If that would have been like MTV, all of us would have stopped watching it if something like that happened. But it's Nickelodeon. Kids love cartoons, and they don't understand what happened to...
They can't organize. They can't be like, hey, after fifth grade class, let's all march. So there's no...
I think they're also trying to condition people to expect nothing, like expect no accountability. Like, for example, the Charlie Kirk case, you look at the evidence that the FBI puts out, it's ridiculous, and I think they know that people aren't stupid. They know that the case can be picked apart, but I think what they want to do is basically hint at, yeah, we're lying to you, or the Epstein files, they dangle it in front of people. They're not going to do anything ever. And it's this slow thing where they're trying to normalize corruption.
I totally agree with that. And demoralize us.
Yep.
Everything's
exactly.
about demoralization. Pressure from above, pressure from below. Demoralize that your politicians are corrupt and they're not going to save you, which is black magic sorcery. And it's just meant to break you down, crank up the anxiety. And that's when you're more manipulated to the point where you are, bang, digital IDs. I saw a story on fucking the news the other day. They're basically like, yeah, trees aren't taking in carbon anymore, so we got to get rid of the carbon. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? How can you as a human being read that off a prompter and say it to your audience? Demoralization. Why is Bill Gates walking the earth, what he did in India, what he did in Africa? He's demoralized and destroyed generations. Oh, because they want you to think that they're above the law.
Yep.
And then you bring in then you bring in social credit score, and this show, our credit scores are nothing. We're going to be -5. I can't even look anyone in the eye. You're not allowed to make eye contact for the next 30 days. Right? Do you want that? Nobody wants that, but they don't understand it till it's too late.
And that's the danger too, is because they're setting up a system that there's not really much you can do once it's too late. It's total control. You know, the way it'll work is they will shut you down financially. They will shut you down socially, geographically. It's total isolation. That's what they've done in China. There's I consider 4 forms of isolation. A lot of people say 3. The 3 main ones are financial. You know, your bank accounts are cut off. You can't get loans. You can't get jobs. You're geographically cut off. You can't go on planes, trains, buses, cars. And you're socially cut off because you get blacklisted. So if you call someone, whatever, it says, hey, this person's on the blacklist. If you talk to them, you're going to lose points. And it's kind of like you have a contagious disease. I personally think there's a 4th isolation, and that's informational isolation, which kind of goes back to everything we've been talking about earlier.
And how do you see that playing out?
You mean if a full social credit system rolls out?
No, if I'm getting informationally blackballed, what does that look like to you?
Well, I think we basically form our reality based off of the information that we gather. And right now we have outsourced the internet to be our tool for information. And so with AI, we already see how powerful it is at rewriting screens or creating videos or audio. We're trusting that the device, you know, you're trusting that you're on a real feed with me on another part of the world. And the viewer is trusting that this is live, that I'm a real person, all of these things. And so really when it comes down to it, is the internet is controlled. Technology is controlled. And that means all of the information on it is controlled. And so if we're only using controlled information, then the people who control it can control everyone's worldview or the reality. Yeah.
Part of me wants to be in an information blacklist. Like, I don't want to know anything that's going on.
I mean, and the other one he said, the contacting someone on a blacklist. Like, let's say you call your mother, and they're like, if you talk to Sam, you will lose 5 points. Imagine how crazy that is, and that's definitely going to happen because it already happens on Instagram where they tell
Sam
you.
Tripoli.
Well, because they tell you on Instagram too. They're like, this person posts misinformation. Are you sure you still want to be friends with them or whatever? And that's the same
that's
thing.
already happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's already happening. Just imagine later when you literally try to call your mom or your uncle and it says this person, like you said, is blacklisted. Are you sure you want to lose 5 points off your credit list for have 5 minutes with this person?
Now, the people who listen to the show, they're pretty informed. They're really great people. I don't hear anything. They're really great people. They're totally engaged. But the people that don't listen to the show, I mean, we're just, yelling into the void at that point. But like, just think about how bad your credit is, your financial credit, the amount of responsibility that you need to have good financial credit, and you can't even do that. Now, just imagine your actions everywhere. How are you going to function? How are you going to live your life? Your employer won't be able to hire you. You won't be able to date. You won't be able to do any of that stuff. All the outlaw shit will go away.
It's funny. How much do you think it's going to be literally social credit like we've heard, or do you think it's more likely to be kind of almost self-enforced? Like that app we were talking about the other day, what is it called? Like T or whatever you were telling me about? I mean, that's just all self-reported. People narking on each other, making shit up.
Well, I mean, during COVID, people were narking on each other, and then the state was going to release the list of people who narked, and they all freaked the fuck out because their neighbors will know you're a fucking snitch.
Yes. Yeah, I see. I think it's just as likely we're going to do it to ourselves as the government comes in, and it'll be some ingenious way. Because people will
It's
like
definitely
doing
both. I mean, if you look at communism, that's how they
Yes,
work.
the secret police.
It's all about snitching on each other, and so the system is designed like I was talking about the radicalization. I think one of the main reasons that they want to radicalize people is when they roll this out, they're going to have a team of people ready to, that there's no bridge for people. People cheer when someone dies. You think they're not going to narc on their neighbor? It's
Crazy.
specifically done for that reason.
And just think about how many kids have this kind of hatred for their parents. It's just like this kind of, some people get that where you see it on TikTok. My dad's a fucking racist. My dad's a Trumper. Now these kids are going to be snitching on their own parents.
There was this one case where Derek came into the school and showed the kids about weed and drugs. Well, one of the kids ended up telling the cops, "My dad does that at school, at home." They had to arrest the parents, and it was true. But the kid really wasn't trying to snitch on the parents,
Right.
Because he didn't know the consequences. He was just like, "Well, that's bad. You told me that's bad."
I've heard even crazier where kids brought their parents' drugs in the school for show and tell.
I'd be pissed. Your stash is gone.
Your parents are gone.
Your parents are gone too. Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, my daughter, she's 5. She's like, blah, blah, blah. I go, we don't snitch here at Tripoli. You don't fucking snitch. Stop snitching. I remember when I was young and my brother pulled some shit, he like hit me in the back with a hammer. And I told my dad, he goes, why are you telling me this? Are you supposed to be telling me this? Are you snitching on your brother right now? I go, oh, damn. I guess I am snitching. But nobody installs that as much into their kids.
That one's tough, though. He hit you with a hammer, dude?
Yeah, but it's just brother fighting shit.
That's funny.
If I was paralyzed, that might be something, but it was just brothers fucking with each other, Yeah, man, that's a big thing, dude. It's a big.
It's interesting you bring that up too, because earlier I saw the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change. They're some of the ones behind the digital ID right now in the UK. They posted a photo earlier that said how digital ID might work, and the page that they showed is a page that says report issues, and so you can report road damage, street lighting. You can report people if you think they're committing fraud, if they're vandals, if they're too loud. So they're already blatantly saying that it's going to be about snitching.
And
it's crazy.
What? Let's say you have a sandwich shop, Eric, and I have a sandwich shop, and you're my direct competition. Why don't I call in on? Oh, dude, he does have a clean place, and now now we have this thing where people are constantly going in, and businesses. It's so hard to keep a restaurant afloat. Now people find out that the Palantir's investigating your restaurant.
I mean, people already SWAT each other, so of course they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity, dude. It's insane, dude. It's absolutely crazy, and nobody cares.
I mean, I'm kind of glad that UK is going first through it and getting it first. At least we can kind of see how bad it's going to be.
So when you talk about, oh, Johnny, can you guys try to look up Palantir put out a social credit score video? And I can't believe they put that out. See if you can find it. It's the stuff of nightmares. It's some Asian chick in a bed, waking up in the morning, being told she's 500 credits short of paying her rent. And
this is promotional, like.
Yeah, that's how they're trying to get you to. That's how they're trying to get us.
Like that's a good thing.
I don't know why they would put it out.
I can't believe they would put that out. Are you sure it's not like an AI thing? Like someone made it?
I mean, it's AI, but I was told that fucking Alex Jones put it out. That was put out by Palantir. Unbelievable, dude. There we go. Stop it. I want to watch it again. Yeah, dude. People don't realize what's coming. This is the fight of our life.
Half that shit's already happened, though, or is gonna happen. I mean, it's just manual now. You know what I mean? But it's all half that shit's already. I mean, they'll put a tax lien on your bank.
Do you think
account.
it's gonna happen in the smaller towns too? Like I think.
Oh yeah, it's happening globally. It's everywhere.
The tech is everywhere.
Are the Amish gonna have to deal with this?
Maybe not the Amish.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know.
I'll become Amish in a heartbeat, dude.
Me too.
I like how we're just already just like we're not with no kind of hope. We're like
I feel hopeful in a lot of ways. I'm connected with people in the UK, and they feel very hopeful actually. 3 million people is not a lot compared to the whole population, but if they get over 3 million, that would be the biggest petition that they've ever had. So that'd be pretty. I mean, that says a lot there. I personally don't believe that a petition will change their minds. I mean, this digital ID is really the backbone of the plan that they've been setting up for decades. What it will come down to is a mass non-compliance. And, Glenn and I have been doing this I've been doing it for about 5-6 years. Glenn's been talking about this for over 10 years now. And so we've had a lot of time to digest this. We know that people will eventually get ready. And I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that, it will have to get bad to a certain level before people are willing to say no. So who knows when that will come, but I mean, this is really record speed for people becoming aware of what's going on. Because, even 5 years ago when I started, it was very fringe, like hardly anyone was talking about it. Even to this day, I mean, not enough people are talking about it, but it's really picking up.
We saw them try to pass a pandemic treaty through the CDC. That failed miserably. Of course, our politicians in America sold us out, but Africa was like, go fuck yourself. We're not doing it. Parts of Latin America. So it never really took hold. And what they were trying to say is that the CDC supersedes our laws. And now you're starting to see, even in the EU, that countries are now saying that their laws supersede the EU laws.
Yep.
Because they're realizing this game that's getting played. And you're totally right, Eric. It has to get worse before it gets better. And it's just like they tried to pass this with vaccine passports, and it failed miserably. It's just a constant rebranding of it. And again, none of this is real. All these problems, like you said, Eric, are artificially astroturfed to manipulate energy, to manipulate your anxiety, to manipulate how you see the world, and to beg them to come and save you.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm not worried either because, I think everyone needs to find what faith means to them. If you don't have any form of faith, you can really lose all hope. And I also have faith in the fact of truth, too, because we live in a world of illusions, like you said, and these globalists, these power seekers, whatever, their entire goal is to create this super intricate web of lies. But truth is ultimate. I mean, it is the base of nature. And no matter how big or pervasive these lies are, they can never extinguish truth. And so truth is always available for those who seek it. And so truth is unkillable, basically.
Yeah. And, there's something like, nothing's more powerful than an idea that its time has come. And
yep.
I totally believe that as well. I just think it's going to take a lot of time because people are so distracted right now in their own algorithm silos that, like, even if you came out and said, there are aliens, they are here, Instagram models would still be twerking, still showing you their beeholes. They wouldn't, every time, like when the Charlie Kirk assassination happened, I went right to Instagram to see how the Instagram models were taking it. They didn't care. Not one care in the world. Ass up, face down the whole time.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we are. But these are the things, are the things that will wake people up. And, it's the problem with people is that they're so trusting because we've never had deceit at this level. It's taken time to bring it into every aspect of our life. But now it's everywhere, of your food, your books, your TV shows, your air you breathe, your water, your music, your movies, your everything is artificial. None of it is real. And when they are real, they call them indies. right? And you got to go to some Lamley gay theater to watch an indie flick. Or you got to go deep on some website that gives indie guys a chance. Good luck on getting anywhere else. But I think that's going to die too. I think you're going to see TikTok crash and burn, dude. I think people are waking up.
Like Vine? Like it'll be gone?
I think it's good. I don't know if it'll ever be. I mean, you can still go to MySpace. It's still there. But and it's still worth like $20 million, which is hilarious. But it's like, what are you going to do with that? TikTok, it's like these kids are waking up. I'm not saying everybody was into the anti-Zionist stuff, but when you start realizing the censorship, when the censorship's so bad, people start to wake up. And that's why I thoroughly believe that YouTube is now letting us dance a little bit. Because they've lost such a market share. And it's not that they're still the biggest. They're just not as big as they used to be. So they realize that places like TikTok and Rumble are taking giant shares of the viewers. So they have to get them back by allowing us to dance a little more. And TikTok's going to learn that too. The problem is that the people who own TikTok, it's so funny. Like, we got to get it out of China's hands. And thank you, Israel. It's like, what? It's like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Yeah. It's interesting, dude. So tell me how you think this all plays out, brother.
Oh, man, that's a hard question to answer. Really, a lot of it's in England's court right now. I think they could set a fantastic example. If they are successful in stopping digital IDs, they will be a beacon of hope for the rest of the world. So I think they could do some really great things. If not, I'm not going to be hopeless. But ultimately, I have faith in the future. I think that, like I said, truth is ultimate. So who knows how dark it has to get before the light comes back. But I have faith in all of it.
I do too, dude. I do too. They've tried this before. They're going to keep trying it. But I think people are waking up, and it's just like everyone hears me say, the days of only paying attention to politics every 2 and 4 years are done.
And another thing I'll say too is, if you look at communism and how it's spread in the past, it's spread in countries like Russia and China that were feudal. They were countries that never knew freedom. If you look at the West, we are countries that have lived in freedom our entire lives, or a lot of freedom at least. We know what freedom is, and I don't think the people will stand for what's coming.
I hope people wake up, because everyone loves to yell about free speech when it's something that goes against their own people, and couldn't give a shit when it goes against other people.
You know what it is too? It's the name, like the Patriot Act, your digital ID. You know what I think about when you say digital ID? Oh, good, I don't have to carry my hard ID. I just have it on my phone. But because that's what my girlfriend. If I tell my girlfriend right now, no digital ID, she's like, what? I don't. That's good. I just go to the club with my phone.
Even with her mom gets it.
But you get what I mean. But if you just tell anybody like, hey, let's stop digital IDs, their reaction would be like, why? I don't want to carry my hard ID. I just pull out my phone. But they don't know what comes with your phone being on the ID. Where it
passport,
comes with
same way they're doing it with passports now, because people don't want to keep up with their passport. Why would you? It's a piece of paper. Got my phone with me always.
See, that's exactly the logic.
Not leaving it at home. No risk of me leaving it at home when I'm at the airport. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's all I hear now. Is just why would I not want to digital ID?
Our convenience.
Why do I need my credit cards? Well, I can Apple Pay everything. Why do I need
convenience?
Cash?
Will be the
yes. That's what I wanted to say about all this. By the way, is that you guys are really highlighting all the negatives of it, but they're going to make it seductive. You're not just going to sign up. It's going to be so convenient and so attractive to most people that they're willingly gonna march to the.
Well, they just start off right now.
I mean, look at us and pre-check.
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Scan my eyes, please. Scan my retina. Palm, dude. Where was I the other day? Oh, I was at so Amazon, partnered with Whole Foods, and now they're starting to slowly, I've realized, turn Whole Foods into Amazon Fresh stores where they get shittier. And they had a checkout the other day. I'd forgotten my card, and they had a thing where you scan your palm print, bro.
No.
Your palm.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I finally figured out how to log into my Amazon account and pay with that. But what do they need your palm print for?
How do they
And
have that already?
it's funny too, because if you look at what is the most efficient form of government, it would be a dictatorship. I mean, that is designed around
fascism, yeah.
efficiency for the government. I don't know why efficiency and convenience. I mean, I think our nation has gotten so I guess soft and lazy that they think it's that the government's not going to use the power negatively. But really, like if you look at the Constitution, those are checks and balances against the government. We need to be having checks and balances against the government. We don't want an efficient government. That's heading towards dictatorship.
Yeah, there's this group called the Dark Enlightenment. Have you heard of them?
No.
Their basic push is that we need a dictator. That's what we need. We need a dictator.
That scares me.
Right? And I forget what the guy's name is, man, but he's like this fucking nerd dork rich kid who's able. Every bad idea ever was created by a rich kid who hates his dad. Communism straight up comes from Lenin and Marx, who are all rich kids. Just living in fantasy land.
And Stalin came in and punked everybody and murdered millions.
Yeah, but even Lenin murdered millions.
No, yeah, but it's just funny how a guy with like an actual kind of rougher background comes in and then really, really takes all those tools that they operated and takes it to the next level.
You'll never have a utopia where everyone is kumbaya as long as you have alphas and psychopaths and super smart people. You're just never going to have it.
Can't invest that much power in a single person. It's just too dangerous.
100%. There's a reason why we got away from all that shit. Right? Like now most royals are just ceremonial. Now they don't really have power. At least that's what we think. But it's super dangerous, dude. It's super dangerous. What else you got? Anything else, buddy? Eric?
No, I mean, I think this covers a lot of it. I really encourage everyone listening to go switch to privacy-oriented things. Privacy-oriented means freedom-oriented. You wanna vote with your dollars. If you're gonna go wait in line for the newest iPhone, you're feeding the big tech beast. So instead, get a de-Googled phone. Use Linux. Switch.
Can
to
I go to Verizon
email.
Wireless with a de-Googled phone?
Yeah. So when it comes to phones, there's three main components. There's the actual phone itself. There's the cell carrier, and then the apps on your phone too. So, I mean, I guess your knowledge would be fourth, but you can break it down into different steps. The most important one I'd say would be the actual device it's on, because like I said, Apple, you look at their phone, they have Apple Intelligence that's constantly watching. It's very smart. It understands everything you do. You switch to a de-Googled phone, you don't have that. The second biggest thing I would say would be the applications. So you could install a bad app that literally steals your card information. That's the hacker and scammer aspect, but it paints a good picture. And then the SIM card, the carrier, it's hard to get around. I mean, even Edward Snowden talked about how the phone lines are tapped. So what I recommend is using private messaging apps instead. There are great privacy-oriented carriers. There's one called Afani. It's very secure. So that's a good alternative, but the main biggest aspects are your knowledge, switching to an actual de-Googled phone, and then the apps that you have on it as well.
What's that app called? Afani?
Afani is the carrier. So that is instead of like Verizon, for example, and it's EFANI.
EFNAI.
EFANI. Afani.
EFANI. Okay, let's see if we can find it. All right, I'll find it. Interesting.
Yep.
And one more time, tell us about your academy, Privacy Academy.
Absolutely. So I've got me and my father run Privacy Academy. You can go to privacyacademy.com and sign up for the newsletter. We teach normal, average, non-techie people how to get private and secure online. So we'll take you step by step through all of the things needed. We have a lot of pre-recorded courses. We have multiple live weekly trainings. We do Q&As. We also have a community.
Go on. Sorry.
No problem. So we have a community of freedom-loving people. So that's a great place where you can interact, and I'm very grateful to be doing it. I'm very proud of what we've done, and I think it is absolutely the most, like you said, this is the issue of our time. This is really one of the most important things you can take an action step on in securing your liberty right now.
Yeah, and if there's one problem I have with the movie The Matrix, is that they painted the people who opt out of the system as living miserable lives. Right?
Yep.
To the point that they wanted to go back. And I don't believe that, dude. I think the more you get off the system, the better. I'm trying to do it right now. I'm going to hopefully make a move sooner than later, and we'll figure it all out. Erik, one more time, where can they find you?
Yep. Privacyacademy.com.
All right, brother. Great episode. Thank you for coming on.
Much.
We look forward to our next conversation. Let's break down the episode. All right, guys. What do you guys think of Erik Meder?
Good pod.
Good pod. Great discussion. I talked a lot. I'm sorry. I think it's a wake up call. I think we have to have a real discussion about what is coming and how to understand it. And I think being afraid of it gives it more power. I think there's a lot of stuff I like in AI. I'm very nervous about them trying to use AI to create narrative in a crime. But now, guys, the new thing is it's a hologram.
Where?
The Charlie Kirk thing was a hologram.
They're saying that?
Because you remember we saw the chair go through the table,
Yeah, I did see that.
and that the real Charlie Kirk was a Jew in the Jew tunnel Jew.
Oh, is that what they're trying to say, or are
Yeah.
they saying that's a hologram?
You think? I mean, I think the answer is yes, but you think there's hologram technology that good?
Yeah.
I
I mean, what we're getting is basic bitch shit. This
mean-
could be U.S. government intelligence, Mossad, with the really good shit.
No, because I agree. I mean, the only time I saw a hologram was that year at Coachella with Tupac, and that was a long time ago. And that was Coachella, a music festival that bought it from who knows. That's what I'm saying. Imagine what the government has.
Saw the Michael Jackson thing. There are some problems with it though, like because if you want to project something, like holograms in sci-fi are. You just see like these things floating around projecting light, but light has to have something to bounce off of for you to see it, to become visible.
There's actually this theory about being able to project light into a just space like this,
like particles.
a particle.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the solutions.
Yeah, so that could be it as well. I mean,
Yeah, and then it just
maybe
begs all
that's
these
why they
questions.
break down the scene so quickly, because they're like, okay, don't need to see all this.
Well, now that does lend some credence to why that guy took that camera down. Maybe that's some kind of projector, actually.
Yes.
Or something.
No,
Like, yeah.
that's a theory.
And got that thing out of there.
That's a theory that thing was a projector. It was like, if you look at it, it was like
the
pointing
scary
right at him.
thing is, where's he buried? Has anyone seen a picture of his tombstone?
I mean,
We'll find. I mean, they'll tell us that eventually.
and not that it's not the same thing, and nobody would celebrate it or to go to his funeral. But where's Jeffrey Epstein's
Oh, they said it's in Florida, and they won't tell you where it is.
Let's see. Where will he be buried? Where will Charlie Kirk be buried? This is from KCN TV.
And since he's looking that up, what do you think about Erica already kind of not grieving? People are saying she's not grieving
They
enough.
don't-
She's already
That's hard for me to
Yeah.
say, like how somebody should grieve. But I did.
That is hard.
It did ring weird.
There is a lot about it that makes no sense.
Yes, it's very weird.
Like, why would you have fireworks at a memorial? Like you're introducing the NBA All-Stars.
His body was at a mortuary in Phoenix, a chapel in Phoenix. They've not yet said where he'll be buried.
No autopsy? Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's very. Well, I mean, and then the doctor talking about the neck thing. We've talked about it.
The
but
bullet
now
didn't go through.
there's a whole cottage industry of firearms channels on YouTube that are reenacting it with like ballistics gel and stuff with 30-06, and it's just massive. It's just massive injury. But now I will say all of them point out that hey, it's not gonna explode his neck like you would expect. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be some massive. But the idea that there's no entry and exit is there's like that's very strange. Now they do claim it makes sense that the doctor apparently it was in his back, like it went down. Then, like, down.
Did it make a turn like the magic bullet?
Well, no, but they
took
said
a
that
U-turn, came back.
I mean, dude,
It was at a higher angle.
bullets do weird things but not that weird. You know what I mean? Like that's very, especially those. high power projectiles. But it's yeah, like you said, actually, he was up high. Charlie Kirk's down low, so it's already at that angle.
Up high, down low.
But it's damn peculiar. It's damn peculiar.
And then there's another phone call where, I mean, I guess the first phone call that was for 9/11, they said it was a tactical guy wearing all black, and that's like hard to find now, which is like, where'd that go?
What do you?
The first phone call that was like, I mean, and this again, I found this on one of those like reporting channels
On Charlie Kirk's?
Yeah, where the first, well, there was a lot of calls saying it was tactical. Like you heard it
every time it's a guy in black tactical gear. Every time.
Yeah,
every time.
Because wasn't he wearing a red T-shirt?
No, he was wearing a maroon one.
Depends on who we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who'd wear a maroon T-shirt?
Which of these guys is, you know, we're not sure who we're.
John, did you see that video I sent you?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
What'd you think of that? Can you put it up here real quick? Because it was a big moment in Broken Sim history where Johnny's yelling, "We've watched this video already!" And I couldn't hear him because I had it in a different microphone.
Wait, you want that one?
No, I want the one that I sent you. That was the one I was trying to find.
Is it on Instagram?
And now I have to send it to you.
Okay.